This time, we'll introduce 10 testimonials from wives struggling with their husband being unemployed. Number 1. My husband developed a brain illness and is no longer able to work. I'm in my late 40s and have been a full-time housewife for 20 years. We had substantial life insurance in case he passed away. The mortgage would be covered by insurance and he would receive retirement benefits, so I honestly felt secure. But I never imagined a situation where he would be alive yet unable to work and I would have to become his caregiver. I've struggled to find a job and we have 2 children, one in junior high and one in high school, which means our expenses will only increase from here. I feel completely lost. My parents have suggested divorce, but I can't bring myself to do it. It feels heartless. If you were in my position, what would you do? Number 2. My husband, who was 15 years older than me, stopped working and became a shut-in. In his 50s, he began complaining of chronic fatigue and gradually withdrew from society. By the time he turned 60, he was completely dependent on me financially. Fortunately, my parents ran a business, and I took it over around that time, so we were able to manage financially. But for more than a decade, he refused to help with housework, spent his days drinking and smoking, and subjected me to constant emotional abuse. Eventually, I lost all affection for him. In 2019, he had a kidney removed due to suspected cancer. After that, the cancer spread to other parts of his body, and he required full-time care. He passed away in March 2025 at the age of 74. To be honest, I felt more relief than sadness. Number 3. The option of divorce, something I've already decided on in my heart, is starting to feel real. My husband has been unemployed for 3 years, and I'm exhausted from carrying our entire household on my salary alone. No matter how many times I ask, plead, or even shout, he shows no intention of working. Technically, he has covered the rent and the car since the beginning of our marriage, but in reality, we're just draining our joint savings. I want a life with at least a little breathing room. He, on the other hand, believes we can survive purely through cutting expenses, without facing the reality of our situation. It's true that he's good at housework and does it perfectly, but in the end, money is what sustains a household. We don't have children, and with our values drifting further apart, I don't think we can go on like this anymore. Number 4. It's been almost a year since my husband became unemployed. I truly appreciate that he takes care of the household, but honestly, I'm starting to worry about our future and would like him to find a job soon. He left his previous job because the workload was overwhelming and it was taking a serious toll on his mental health. In fact, I was the one who encouraged him to resign. Thankfully, my income alone is enough for the 2 of us to get by for now. However, when I think about having children in the future, I hope he can return to full-time employment before the gap in his resume becomes too long. Pregnancy and childbirth are things only I can go through, and during that time, I would want him to be the one supporting us financially. Number 5. It's important to think about what matters most. My husband has always been physically fragile, so full-time work would have been too much for him. He was also at risk of mental health issues, so I told him, "It's okay, you can quit," and he left the company. Since then, he hasn't been able to find a job that meets his desired conditions, so I've become the main breadwinner, supporting him and our 1 child. That said, I don't feel the need to earn excessively, so we've downsized our lifestyle, for example by selling our car. Sometimes I do think, if he worked even a little, we could live more comfortably. But I keep reminding myself that the most important thing is having a healthy, happy family. Number 6. My husband resigned at the end of May and I am currently unemployed as well. He hopes to start vocational training in the housing sector in October, so for the next few months he'll be without work. And even after the training, his employment isn't guaranteed. The real problem is how to tell my parents. It's giving me a serious headache. Unfortunately, my father is already at his limit mentally due to my reclusive older brother, and he has been suffering from insomnia. I worry that if he finds out that both of us are currently unemployed, it will cause him even more stress. At this point, we haven't told them anything yet, and I'm unsure whether to keep it a secret or at least tell my mother. If anyone has gone through something similar, I would really appreciate your advice. Number 7. I'm a full-time housewife, and I'm about to start working, but I'm unsure whether to get a divorce. My husband is ill, and his cognitive abilities are declining, so he doesn't work. The doctor keeps telling me that his condition will gradually worsen. Eventually, I think he may not even recognize me, and his personality has already started to change. If I don't divorce now, I'll probably end up caring for him for the rest of my life. My parents are urging me to separate as soon as possible. Honestly, I have children. I need to earn my own living, and I really don't have the confidence to provide decades of care on top of that. To put it bluntly, if he were a terrible person, I wouldn't hesitate. But he had many good years, far more than the bad ones, and that's why I'm torn. Number 8. I never realized how unfair and difficult it would be to support an unemployed husband. His company closed due to poor performance and the resignation of its CEO, leaving him without work. He is currently looking for a new job. Since we were both full-time employees before, I continue to go to work as usual. I've always valued my own position and career, preparing for the possibility that one of us might be unable to work. But my commute is an hour each way, and overtime is normal. Honestly, I would like him to take full responsibility for the house while he's unemployed. Yet he complains even when all he has to do is wash the dishes, take out the trash, and clean the bathroom. Number 9. We've been living off the savings my husband built up while working, along with my income dipping into the down payment we set aside for our house and car. It's been 3 years since he stopped working, and it's been really tough. We were together because we loved each other, so I still have feelings for him, and I haven't had the courage to live on my own. That's why we haven't divorced. But in reality, it feels like I'm the only one carrying the burden. So this current situation is far from ideal. Finding a new job for him isn't something that would happen immediately. Would divorce be the better option, rather than just watching things continue like this? Or should I just accept my role as the main breadwinner and brace myself? Number 10. My husband suddenly left his job, and there was a period of about a year when he was unemployed. I was pregnant with our second child, caring for our older child, doing some home-based work, and relying on family support just to get by. But I also ended up putting a lot of strain on our children. One day a kindergarten teacher told me, "Your child seems different," which really shook me. That moment made me decide to put on a brave face and act like a cheerful, energetic mother, no matter how hard it was, all for the sake of the children. I spent that year wearing a glass mask, staying positive even when I didn't feel it. Life wasn't easy, but somehow we got through it. I'm truly grateful that my husband found a job before the birth, though I would say it was one of the hardest periods of my life. That concludes the 10 reviews from people whose husbands are unemployed. Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Also, I'd appreciate any advice regarding the video.